Nneka Ogwumike and Napheesa Collier are the president and first vice president for the WNBPA, Players Union for the WNBA. Now this is a little interesting because Nneka has committed to Project B, a tournament-styled international league, and Collier is the co-founder of Unrivaled, a 3-on-3 league based in the States. And this leads to a lot of people noting that this could be a conflict of interest for really multiple members of their union's leadership and all of the players they represent. And while I want to say the problem is a lot more complicated and people are jumping to conclusions, there's nothing to really hide or shy away from. The players in the WNBA have readily expressed not being paid what they're worth, not being treated like stars, not being treated like the most important piece of a basketball league. And they have had to fight tooth and nail, not just for benefits, recognition, and obviously a decent salary, but decent marketing, training facilities, and now ownership. And that's the wildest part to me. The WNBA got away with paying the players really whatever they wanted to. They just had to take what they could get for years. And now that's coming to a head, not just in the amount of salary, but with what the players have been able to go out and find since the W left that door wide open. Now it hasn't even started yet, but Project B is making a lot of noise, mainly because of the high salary. We're talking $1 to $2 million. That's just what they're reporting, but they're also adding equity to the deal to sweeten the pot, to give the players in the league true ownership, a reason to want the league to succeed, and let's be honest, offering them something the W just never did or could never imagine doing. So Project B opens up their offer with equity and ownership. So Project B is the mastermind idea behind a Skype co-founder and former Facebook executive, the tech world. And just like any other company, early investors modeled from their tech world where people have equity in the company, so when it succeeds, the workers do too. So far, what we do know is the first season is supposed to start at the end of 2026 and run into 2027 without impeding on the WNBA season. As of right now, the league is set to feature 6 11-player teams that will play in 7 2-week tournaments across major cities internationally. So we're talking Europe, Asia, and the Americas. So far, we know it plans to stream most of their games, and it's going to work like a traveling circuit similar to golf, tennis, and racing. So even on the surface, while there's a lot of traveling involved, which I assume is paid for by the league, it seems like less work for more pay and equity in a league that you should still be getting paid from even once you stop playing. And that's pretty enticing. I mean, for players that have gone years feeling like they needed other jobs while also being a professional basketball player, equity, millions of dollars, less taxing on the body, less games to play, international appeal as far as marketing, sounds like a no-brainer. And Nneka Ogwumike was one of the first big names to formally announce signing and playing in this league. And again, while we don't know everyone they've signed, we've since had a lot of WNBA stars commit to this league. Alyssa Thomas, Jewel Lloyd, Jonquel Jones, Kelsey Mitchell, and most recently AZ Fudd. And even if controversial, they aren't done. They're international league purposefully. As of right now, it's speculated they've signed Camila Cardoso, Sophie Cunningham, Awa Pham, Justice Jositi, and Leonie Fibbage. We know them here, but a majority of these last few players are known in their home countries. And we have no idea who's on which team yet, like at all. But I feel like that also means they're probably doing a little bit more with marketing, going to these major cities and stops and locations, having the tournaments, getting champions, and then having a champion of the world in the end, so to speak. That's a great way to get fans and supporters from all across the globe. So while right now it's not competing with the WNBA season, other leagues definitely have to keep an eye out. In this sense, it's directly competing with the Unrivaled season, the league Napheesa Collier co-founded. Now it's only completed its second season, but it's already hyping up its third. Originally it had AZ Fudd highlighting this third season, but with her committing to Project B, I don't think that's actually going to happen now. Because even from just what we know that's reported, Project B seems to be paying 3 to 4 times more than Unrivaled, and you're traveling the world. So I can see how that can be appeasing, especially to a young star. But Unrivaled was another answer to the players that felt like they were being shut out by the WNBA. And while I personally think Unrivaled has excellent features for a player, I do think it was built to compete with what the W has to offer. And to only be going into its third season, it is pretty impressive. It's a women's 3-on-3 league based in one city. The last 2 seasons it's been in Miami. I'm not sure if they're going to move yet. They hinted at this in the last season, but it's very player focused. Initially they were matching the highest paid salary in the WNBA, so we're talking just under $250K plus equity in the league, plus room and board, plus state-of-the-art facilities, marketing, and I would say they got some pretty important names to join this league when it was still being fleshed out and the only other option in the States in the WNBA offseason. But like I said, I do think it was built for the player. The ball is smaller, so that inherently increases a lot of your stats: passing, shooting, dribbling. The court is smaller, so that's a little less run mileage, and it's only 6 players on the floor, so it's a lot of room to work on specific parts of your game and things like that. But in my opinion, it also elevates your stats if you are going in and putting this on your resume for other leagues or just future seasons in Unrivaled. But even if it was just for notoriety, they had names like Sabrina Ionescu, Angel Reese. They got Paige Beckers fully invested, helped really good players increase their fan base: Jordan Canada, Marina Maybury, young stars to pull in the younger crowd, Cam Brink, Rakia Jackson, new NCAA stars. And by putting marketing and the players first, they actually created a pretty good product, especially for Napheesa Collier, the founder. I mean, she has no reason to stop building her league, especially after the last CBA and this year where she seems kind of silenced. And just like Nneka, having equity in a league even when you stop playing. So while this very well could look like a conflict of interest, I think they negotiated in good faith to the best of their ability with the cards that were on the table. For decades, the league underpaid their players so bad they had to go overseas. They had to find other options just to stay afloat and then go play this game they love for less money, less notoriety, and obviously divided loyalties. Going back to the year where Diana Taurasi was paid more than her salary in the WNBA to sit out the entire season after her off-season team just wanted her to recover from an injury. I mean, you can argue the Mercury lost the championship that year because of that move, but the W pushed the players into this corner, not the other way around. And I would say Nneka did an excellent job with this latest CBA. Not only did she make sure the superstars got paid, the middle of the pack got paid, the rookies got paid, but past legends got paid. I don't understand how you poke holes in what they got done just because she's also looking out for her personal interest as well in a separate league that at least right now is not competing with the W. A #1 pick in the WNBA, a champion, a clutch player literally going down in the record books. She's important to the W, but they left this door open, so if she's able to continue to build her legacy on an international level with Project B, I don't think there's a problem with it. And quite frankly, she's at the end of her career anyway. We're not going to get too many more seasons, so whatever they do have left, they're trying to get the most of it. I don't think she's shorting the CBA because she just wants Project B to continue. I actually think them being re-elected shows how much the players do trust them and how much they did represent their best interests. I do think two things can be true. You can want the best possible package for the players in the WNBA and still go get a personal paycheck in a different league. And for both Nneka Ogwumike and Napheesa Collier, they're building equity in these other leagues. They're guaranteeing money after they stop stepping on the court. And no one can guarantee that from the WNBA. And that's how they set it up. So opening the door for all these other possibilities for these players allowed them to walk through them. They've officially created other avenues. The WNBA is not the only game in town anymore. You have a non-profit league in Northern California. I think they're totaling like 8 teams. You have the Upshot League. You have Athletes Unlimited, which is also represented in the Players Union with Alicia Clark. The crazy part is it doesn't hurt the WNBA right now. It just could possibly in the future. So I see where the conflict of interest is coming from. I just can't blame the players. I can't shame them for doing what's best individually and as a squad. I mean, they did a great job with the CBA. I could see if they came out with garbage, but all the players seem happy. The legends seem happy and they want to do more. I think the harder question to acknowledge is what will the WNBA do to stop players from needing to go to other leagues? Will they continue the same mistakes that pushed players to build alternatives in the first place? I mean, it sounds crazy right now, but it only takes a few bad moves from the W, some notable names choosing alternatives, fans following the talent. I honestly think the WNBA and the NBA, for that matter, created this storm, and ultimately the players are going to be the ones to benefit until that bubble bursts from a fan standpoint.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, players.